What's going on, everybody? This is Nick Lawson, lucky episode number 13, and this is your sports sponsorship tip of the week. So for this week, another graph, another week, another graph, but I love how data drives some of the information that we have. Last week we talked about the time value of data and how it depreciates over time and you have to have an action plan. This one is actually around time still, but the time that we have within our stadiums. All right, so 538 put out recently, and it's probably plastered right here because I probably put it right across my face, of just the number of minutes of game action compared to non-action compared to commercials that are in our stadiums. Surprisingly to some, and it definitely was surprisingly to me of how much this is, but surprisingly to some, in the NFL and MLB, we only have around 20 minutes of actual action time in that side. Everything else is game stoppage. Everything else is commercial time. For us in sponsorship, what does that mean? I know usually we look at inventory on that end as signage, as real estate where we can put things, maybe as social posts. But really in today's day and age, in our stadiums, this is our all dead time. And what's intriguing to me is when people bring up the fact that they don't want a phone coming in and infiltrating their stadiums and distracting from the game. Well, for one, there's only 18 minutes in an NFL game of actual action that's going on within that stadium. Of the actual game. The other times, I like to call this prime opportunity because this is when people pull their phones out. You can't stop it. It's the same way of saying, trying to tell somebody, hey, don't pull your phone out when you're on the subway and waiting from stop to stop. This is where people are going to pull out their phones. What this means for us in sponsorship is this is opportunity. All of these minutes, which is the majority of minutes, it's our responsibility to grab that attention while they're still on the phone and pull that back in. How do we do this? We do this with active assets, right? It could be as easy as a half-court shot. It doesn't have to be digital. It can still stand out in the fans' minds and have that recall on that end. It could be as easy as pick which song, and we push that through Twitter. What we do at Squad is we really maximize in this time and say, hey, this is the opportunity you're going to go grab. There's a lot of minutes and time, real estate here for you to engage and connect fans. But more importantly, as we look at this, just rethinking how we're selling on our game day, our assets, all right? We are selling 30 second by 30 second by 30 second slot. This is a massive amount of time that we can be pushing for more engagement, more times for engagement, and more importantly, key understanding for this tip of the week is that if you are not grabbing attention here, somebody else is, and those people are pulling out their phones, and that's literally dollars being ripped from your pocket in your own stadium in a very engaged crowd that you pushed and got them in there. It's being ripped and put on something else. And ESPN, Bleacher Report, all of whom sell advertising. If fans are in your stadium and you got them there, what you really want to do from there is grab that attention, make sure all of that attention is on you and you can push toward that end. This tip of the week for this week is more of a macro. Understand that, and really a lot for those times, for exactly every moment that you're going to grab that attention. Again, it doesn't have to be digital. It could be as easy as understanding, hey, this is a half-court shot. This is a tic-tac-toe. Put a brand to it. It's still going to have that recall. Obviously, digital is great for this time because it's going to collect some data. It's going to have it. They already have their phone out. Let's engage them. But make sure we're selling real estate, not just in our signage and the physical real estate, but the time we have in our game day, and understand, based on this graph that's plastered in front of my head again, how much time we have open in our sports games to go sell. So that's your tip of the week. Don't discount this open time. Sell every piece of it so you can have your engaged audience connected with your brands, and make sure you keep pushing those limits within sports sponsorship.